Hey guys, it's Randy with Saturday Station Farm. So, we've been having some issues lately, and there have been some things that have gone down recently. And I know a lot of you have been asking me directly what's going on. And in short, we're having an issue with the state of Maine and the Department of Ag. The long story short is at our processors, where we get our pigs sent off and we get bacon that comes back and ham and smoked shoulders, there was a paperwork issue. Essentially, there isn't the documentation to show that our animals were processed under a state inspection. I mean, you essentially get two choices. You have custom, which means it's a personal product, or you have state inspection, which means it's been signed off and now you can go sell it. So that's an issue between me and the processors. As far as we have all this product now that I can't sell, that's an issue that's not part of this video. The issue we seem to have immediately is where the state is coming in and saying, okay, you have all this state inspected product, which doesn't have a paper trail. It's some of the stuff has been mislabeled. Therefore, now we have to destroy it. And by destroying it, I mean, they're going to come through and take a package of bacon, cut it open, a perfectly good package of bacon, cut it open, and dump bleach all over it. Right? That is the state's solution to ensuring that this product does not go back into retail or commerce. What I am contending is that, sure, we have to have the state's little stamp to say we can sell it. That's a whole other issue that we could later on, but I mean, I get it. I mean, and we play by those rules. So therefore, let's just relabel this, put a big magic marker over it, and say not for sale. Because when you get custom products, it comes with a label that says not for sale. And when you get a custom product, that product is intended for personal use. So I've taken my animals that I've raised and taken care of and taken them to the processors. I'm making my investment of time and money and energy. And I took them up there to get state inspected. Well, the process for the technical side, the smoking, the brining, the curing, all that stuff is the same. It doesn't matter. What's different is when you go from a custom to a state inspected product, there's a state inspector there that watches the whole process. Except for obviously this last little part, which they didn't seem to catch, apparently. Okay, so the paperwork got messed up. The product itself is still healthy. There's nothing wrong with it, right? The state contends that it's a potential public health issue because it could show back up on the market. So the solution is complete destruction, absolute waste, and I think that is absolutely insane. I mean, our local school has state-assisted lunches for kids that don't have enough to eat. And then we're over here just gonna dump a freezer full of meat on the ground and put it in a bleach bath in the name of safety. And the issue that I have is that it's my product. I understand it doesn't need to be in market. And I talked to the inspection officer and I said, well, why don't we just remarket as not for sale, whatever. I'll eat it. We'll have a nice big barbecue. I mean, it won't go to waste. I mean, and of course the response was, well, you could go buy a vacuum sealer and repackage it. And then try to buy some labels under the table from some processor and get it back on the market. Like, who the hell has time for that? I'm sure there's some moron out there that's gone through and done that process. But they're essentially saying that I'm guilty, right? Someone else's fault. There was a screw up at the processors. And now I'm getting persecuted and being threatened with the destruction of my own product that I can't even use. I'm saying, look, I will take whatever risk there is and eat it myself. And the state's saying, nope, we don't trust you. You're guilty, so we'd better destroy it. Like, guilty of what? You already told me it can't be in commerce. Whatever. The next, we'll watch things in the future. Noted. So they just kind of left us hanging, and here it's been, we had the first inspector come by a couple weeks ago, and nothing really came. And then the second inspector came by, and to be fair, I'm actually going to read through the letter that I've written to the state. Kind of getting ahead of myself because it kind of bugs me quite a bit, and I'm trying not to be emotional. I'm trying to be as rational as I can be, but it drives me to no end to think that the state is trying to regulate ethics by removing choice and responsibility from the individual. And I'm not the only farm affected. I mean, they're literally trying to take food from me and my family in the name of safety. And I don't see, and I'm trying, both inspectors I've worked with have actually been pretty awesome. I have a long-standing, highly positive relationship with my inspectors. So this isn't a bashing on the inspectors video, and I don't mean it to come off that way. They've actually been really good. And the last inspector that was here, Linwood, he spent 3 hours with me answering a ridiculous amount of questions, and I feel that he's very empathetic to the situation. However, there's these rules in place that say, hey, this is what we do, X, Y, and Z happens, and we have to destroy it. And I just don't agree with that. Right? I can abide by, okay, it doesn't have the stamps and the stuff, we won't sell it, but just the principle of that waste, right? Here we are, the state of Maine promoting farming and agriculture in order to feed people at the heart of it all. And then on one hand, they're promoting this, and the inspector's job as a public servant is there to help the farmers out. And then the other side, they're like, well, we're going to help you out by taking from you and destroying what is yours, because we can't trust you to keep the product out of the market or to be responsible. Like, they're taking that responsibility choice from me based on an arbitrary rule or whatever that mandate or whatever they have. So I feel like the inspectors are doing their job. So I definitely don't want it to be bashing on them. But if that's the kind of framework that they have to work with, then this needs to be addressed, right? And I feel pretty strongly about that. So I have a large letter because I don't know where to go. Had one inspector come in who I've been working with closely for a long time. He's been great, and we went through it, and then essentially his boss came in and talked to me, and that was Linwood, and he was great. We spent 3 hours together. The boss above him, Dr. Eberly, we didn't spend a lot of time talking because it was very cut and dry. The first time I talked to her, she just said, well, we're going to send the compliance officer over to tell you how things will be destroyed. And not even knowing really what's going on. Like we did not hit it off. But that's coming down. So like, where do I go? You know, what do I do next? And I've been kind of sitting on this for about a week. You know, I was told last week that there was some possibility that, you know, we talk to the state's attorney and see what we can do, and maybe we can release some of it to you personally, and just, you know, I feel like I've kind of been left hanging. And meanwhile, I'm just sitting around, you know, there's a lot of anticipation, like in any day, are they just going to come by and be like, hey, we're coming over to come destroy your stuff, and there's, you know, and that's not going to go well. So I formulated a letter. I said, well, then I'll send it to the commissioner of ag, because I don't know who's above who or how that ranking or whatever works. And my customers have had questions like, oh, we haven't had any bacon at market. Well, you know, I'm having to go through this. So really, this video is so that I can just get out what's going on, right? In the hopes that we can come to a peaceful, rational resolution. I'm absolutely contending that there's no reason why an individual can't take ownership and responsibility of their own product, and that the excessive overreach of the government through destruction in the name of safety, it's unjustified. It's an unjust rule, and I can't accept it. It's not right, and I can't follow it. And that's the point of the contention that I have, is that point there. Yeah, not having a freezer full of meat that I can sell sucks. I mean, that's really, really sucks. But that's an issue between me and the processors. And, you know, I've talked with them, and I've done business with Maple Lane for a long time. And yeah, I think I'll probably still be doing business with them for a long time. So I don't think that that's going to be an issue. Resolving that one way or another over time. People make mistakes. It's not that we're not infallible, but there are these, you know, this system in place where, like, I feel like my inspectors could have released the meat to me. Like, I feel like they wanted to, like, say, hey, look, keep it out of the market. We got to do whatever we got to do, but they are bound by this rule or system structure they have in place. So we need to get to the heart of that. And I don't know who to go to. I don't know if I need an attorney or if it's all my representatives. You know, I actually even talked to the inspectors. You know, they said, you know, you gotta get all, if you want to make change, you gotta get all the farmers together, and maybe this is partly for that as well. You know, other people that are running the same issue can come together. I hope that I never have this issue again. But man, what a precedent to completely take from somebody else's hard work and destroy it. It's almost like for spite, you know. It's just it's disgusting. Like I can't even. It's crazy. So like I said, I'm gonna pause here in a minute, and then I'm just gonna read you the letter that I wrote. But I've sat on this for a while because, you know, and like I said, I've had a great working relationship with the state, and I'm working on, guys, that have been following me know that I've been trying to build this store where I can do my own smoked meats, kielbasa's, smoked cheeses, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be doing this for a while, right? So I plan on working with the state for a while. There's a whole host of ridiculous rules and paperwork that you got to go through and all this foolishness that you know, it's part of the game. That you just have to go through those things when you work with the government. I don't like them, but I get, you know, why they're in place in many instances. But this one in particular, this is a little ridiculous. It's just, I can't accept that whatsoever. It's wrong, and I think anybody who asks is going to know that that's wrong. To take someone's personal property and waste it for spite, I don't see. I guess I'm appealing to reason in this instance. So at any rate, I'm gonna read the letter that I wrote. I'm probably gonna send it to the commissioner, and then I don't even know where to go from there. I'm gonna send this to my customers because they have been wanting to know what's going on, and then after that, I guess I'll just wait. I mean, we'll work something out and get along really well, or we won't. So be it. So, all right, let me grab my coffee and then I'm going to read that. Hey guys, so look, I just went through, I had to step back from everything for a minute, and I went back and reviewed everything, and in the video I said a few times that I was going to read the whole letter that I wrote, but when I watched that video, it ends up making like a 45-minute long video because I went off on so many tangents, and it didn't particularly lend anything significant to what I have already said. So maybe I'll post in the future as like a part 2 or something, if necessary. But it's such a large file that for now I'm just going to throw up this one as it is. So that's it. So thanks for watching, guys, and I appreciate any help anyone's got as we go forward. Thanks.